Thousands of people have switched from using oil-bomb paint to using Zize quality paint. Zize quality paint is a high-quality American non-hazard latex paint that doesn't fade or peel off your walls when applied. Zize quality paint comes in variety of colors that you can choose from. We even customize our customers' paint based on their request just to satisfy their desire. Stop by at any of our 3 branches at Police Academy Junction opposite NP Fueling Station, Baptist Seminary opposite Highway Gas Station, and Simple Bridge opposite Michael Plaza. Zize quality paint can be used for both interior and exterior painting works. Customers living overseas can pay through Zelle on 217-720-8858. You can contact us via cell numbers 0777-366-142 or 0770-496-273 or +121-772-08858. Think Zize, think quality. A new Liberian restaurant and lounge with tasty Liberian and Afro-Caribbean cajun is opening in Morton, South Jersey this spring. The name is Sasa Bean. Sasa Bean is located at 300 East Braintree Road, Morton, New Jersey 08053. Sasa Bean specializes in ethnic Liberian, Afro-Caribbean, and Southern cuisines. We are 25 minutes drive from Philadelphia, 40 minutes drive from Wilmington, Delaware, 30 minutes drive from Trenton, 30 minutes drive from Bristol, and 20 minutes from Burlington, New Jersey. At Sasa Bean, we have a private lounge area for private parties and private and corporate meetings and events. Sasa is hiring for both full-time and part-time employees. The pay rate ranges between $16 to $22 per hour. Contact us today for all your bookings and reservations on 609-468-4232. That's 609-468-4232. Sasa Bean Restaurant and Lounge, a place with tasty dish and comfort.
My people, hello. Hello. Have you guys heard the latest news in town? No. What happened?
And what's the latest news?
Sika Motors have added a new brand of vehicle to their vehicle lines. And it is called Mitsubishi. It comes in pickups, SUV, and trucks. Hell, who's coming from Sika Motors? And we all running all the time, carrying heavy loads, and most times we spend money on our carriers, right? Yes, man. Then listen carefully. I heard Sika Motor Mitsubishi vehicles are very strong, sophisticated, pleasing designs, durable, extremely comfortable, and most importantly, they come with upgraded features which allows you to drive smoothly on damaged roads in both rural and urban areas. And this could lessen your expenses on spare parts. Oh yeah, that's true. But that's not all. Yeah, you're listening. Sika Motor also have spare parts for all their vehicles they are selling. So it won't give you hard time to go look from garage to garage, from spare parts store to spare parts store. Yes, so you have heard all. You can now get stronger and comfortable Mitsubishi pickups, SUV, and trucks from Sika Motors. They are located on UN Drive and Seontown, Bourgeois Island. Their email is sikamarketing@cfao.com.
For more information, you can contact Sika Motors on 0775-987758 or 0881-937000.
Sika Motors.
That what money can do, what money can do, oh what money can do. So what money can do, what money can do.
Hey, look at that fun car there, me. I really want back car. Yeah.
Oh, Mary, how are you?
I'm not okay. Something really confusing me.
What is it?
Lately, I see too many brands of cars on the road. Different one too. What if I want to buy a special brand of car? Where do I go?
Well, I don't know about the other brands of cars, but I heard Sika Motors have been operating in Liberia since 2013, and they are the sole distributor of all Toyota, Mitsubishi vehicles, Yamaha products, and Bridgestone tires. What's unique is that they give you 3 years warranty on bigger vehicles and whole 5 years on smaller vehicles. Parts are readily available and very affordable.
Oh, really?
I will lie to you, if you are looking to buy any one of these brands of vehicles, just head straight to Sika Motors, UN Drive, Seontown, Bourgeois Island, or email sikamarketing@cfao.com.
All right, thank you, Sika Motors. You will see me soon. For more information, you can contact Sika Motors on 0775-987758 or 0881-937000.
Sika Motors.
We all know the headache we go through sending money to our loved ones, friends, and family in Liberia. High fees, long lines in banks, the usual complaint of the system being down, such a waste of time and energy. That is why I was very happy when I learned that SendWave is now in Liberia. So now I can send money anytime from anywhere directly from my smartphone to the MTN Lone Star Cell mobile money account of a loved one, friend, or family within seconds for just a tiny fee. So download SendWave now to your phone from your Apple Store or Google Play Store. Add your details, and don't worry, they are very safe and secure. And start sending money today. Don't forget to insert the promo code COSTA to get free $5 credit added to your first transfer. SendWave is secure, super fast, and by far the most affordable way to send money to Liberia. I'm Henry P. Costa and a very happy customer. Thank you.
It's a very wet morning here in Liberia, to be specific, Central Morovia. Today the weather is very rainy. It's good to be here with you guys this morning. I'm here with Darlington Collins. Let me say good morning to our many listeners home and abroad, those in the diaspora. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on where you are joining us from. Welcome to yet another fascinating edition of the Costa Morning Show. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd day of the fifth month, AD 2023, 10:31 here in Liberia. So let me say good morning, Darlington, and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Buaka, and good morning to our many listeners. Yes, today promising to be very tough, a lot of things on our plate, a very tough, provocative show, and we ask you to stay put and enjoy the ride with us this morning.
Okay, so like Darlington said, all you have to do is just sit back and relax because we have lots of things on our plate. Darlington will be coming in from his end. We have few things that he will be bringing up to us, but from my end, we have yesterday the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Chief Dr. Joel Howard Taylor, after the event at Prince Johnson's Church on Sunday, she spoke to the press and expressed she condemned the act, but didn't go further to say if she's aware of those that were the doer of the act. The press, the journalists asked her if she's aware of those that behind the act because they were supporters of the MPP. She refused to answer all of the questions. All she did was that she condemned the act and she stand for peace. That's according to her. So we'll be looking at that. Darlington, you have something that you said you wanted for us to talk about from the judiciary on yesterday, and we have to dig deep into this 100 million cocaine case. Those that were involved into it, they said the government should give them back like $200,000, but all of them have fled the country and leaving behind the 200,000 USD. So I don't know who the government will get the money to.
Because they know what is at stake, Buaka. It's a scheme. It's a scheme. So we'll talk about that. These boys know what they're doing. And as we go into the $100 million drug bust, we'll unpack some of these maneuvering in the Liberian judiciary system on how certain forces behind certain high profile offices managed to use the arm of the judiciary to arm twist the rule of law. We'll talk about that in passing. I think that's very critical, especially with the growing wave of drug abuse in our country, where young men, has been basically lying dead all over the streets of Monrovia because of substance abuse. And to see this kind of case coming out of criminal code C, in the country biggest history, of drug raid, especially with the help of our international partners, the Americans, and you come down with a not guilty verdict where you have sufficient evidence, physical evidence, right before the eyes of the international partners, and you acquit this individual, and now they have absconded the country, and you are issuing statements here and there, ordering them to get rearrested, and John Security say they're looking for them. They should stop playing with us. It's all a scheme, it's a scheme, Boyka. I don't take it serious. We'll talk about that in details.
Yeah. So you say you have something yesterday you wanted us to dive into?
No, that
Is
was,
it a
that was yeah, the
Is it a
conspiracy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's it, folks. We have two major talking points this morning, but let's look at this vice president. For me, I want to go a little critical on the vice president this morning because she's a lady, and what that occurred at the at Prince Johnson's church should be condemned by everybody. I saw a statement from few political parties condemning the act. So yesterday, Darlington, she appeared before the press. The only statement she could utter to them was that, "Oh, I condemn what occurred at Prince Johnson's church," but she was asked if she's aware of those that went there, if she was the one that sent those that went there to create that tension at Prince Johnson's church. She refused to answer the questions because I don't know. Is it that she's hiding something? She's involved into this, but coming up and saying, "Oh, I condemn the act," and not chastising those that went there because she know them. We have seen some of them in photo with her. They are hierarchies of her political party. That's the National Patriotic Party, member of the Coalition for Democratic Change. They sent me back, Darlington. This lady was one of the top government officials that signed to the Farmington Declaration, and then that occurred. She's coming up with condemnation and not punishing those that got involved with the happenings at Prince Johnson's church. What message is sent out there is that the Joy Howard Taylor, we all look at as a lady that should be pushing the message of peace. She's not doing that. She's so much involved into the partisanship now that she's attacking everybody because it's political season. Now, let me just say this: we haven't seen international partners, the female organizations condemning her actions. She went at the Liberian Senate. She made statement against permanent sons and daughters of Liberia. Nobody condemned her action because she's a female. All the female institutions in Liberia, organizations in Liberia, haven't come out to condemn her, to say, "Oh, what you say against other people, we condemn it." But if it was Prince Johnson that sent somebody to Joy Howard Taylor Church and that occurred, you will see the female journalists association, FIJA, and the other institutions, female organizations in Liberia condemning this action. They condemn not only Prince Johnson if he did similar thing, but if it was somebody else that go ahead and do something like that to the vice president, they will come up condemning it. But up to now, we haven't seen any female institution condemning such act from Joy Howard Taylor. And this send a message that this country is totally divided, Darlington. And as we head to the election with a divided country, those that quote unquote serving public office that should be maintaining the peace, they are damaging the peace right now. What should we expect as we get closer to the heated elections in our country? Darlington, that's my point.
Well, Bugger, you see, I'm not surprised by the action of Vice President Joe Howard Taylor. Again, I don't expect much from her, so she did exactly what I would think that she would do. She basically snubbed the press yesterday when she came out from her Capitol building office from the Senate wing. Basically, snubbed the press. She stopped in passing. And the journalist asked us specifically, these men were seeing your party paraphernalia. There are people who are seeing in pictures with you. They use sanction or plan or engineer the attack on Senator Johnson's, church. She said, "Oh, I condemn any acts of violence and blah blah blah." It's just a regular rhetoric, Becca. Nothing happened in our country and it's taken very seriously. Since the CDC COP guys brutalized Christopher Waters Susulu, they were only arraigned in court one time. Their charges were read to them. They show up in court one time, and that case never surfaced again. We don't know what the Mosserado County or the Senate Court prosecution is doing about that. How far the government intend to prosecute that case? The government of Liberia issued another empty statement to say, "Oh, we condemn violence and the individuals," because those charges, especially that they charge, Ben Togba and other people for, those charges were very grave. You're talking about rioting and breaching of the peace and attempted, murder and all. They came out with all kinds of trumped up charges with these guys. Now these guys were charged. The guys went to court one time, just to in the eyes of the public, and the guys never show up in court. So that is how the country is, Boyka. So we leave room for these kinds of precedent where people within our political party can go and cause disturbances, and nothing will come out of it. They will not be prosecuted, no formal indictment whatsoever, and that's just what it is. The press should now be running the microphone to the Minister of Justice office to ask him what's the Minister of Justice doing about this. What is the LMP doing? The LMP needs to tell us whether they have made any arrests.
No, absolutely not. No arrests.
My position yesterday on the show was that if these things go unchecked, it creates a divided country. Now Prince Johnson is threatening to bring 500 men in town to provide security for him. Is that the kind of country we want to run? Where everybody will be, in different factions, as if to say we are in a war days. We submit ourselves to one national security, one police, one army, one central government. So the government is the role of the government is to provide security for all of us, regardless of your political side. But the way they are doing, and I don't blame him. Everybody must do what they have to do to protect themselves. I don't blame him for threatening that he will bring 500 people to protect him. I don't blame him. I mean, do I think he has the capacity? Oh yes. There's a man who led a guerrilla warfare before in our country, from the trenches and pull through and got moreover on a reasonable control. So when these men are threatening that they will bring the people by and unite the forces, as all as they may be, he know what the battles are buried. So you get threatening men like Prince Johnson, who has been around for some time. So they need to focus on providing security for all of us. These kinds of threats from the regime is unwarranted. You don't go to people's church to go protest. If they men and they have desecrated the chambers of the house that they can be issuing political rallies and support, let them continue to do at the Capitol building. You don't go to people, churches, especially where they got other people contributing there to worship, and you say you want to protest. VP Taylor knew about this. She engineered and sanctioned the attack on Prince Johnson Church. That's why she was very, passive in her response to the press and walk away in favor of disrespect. That's who Joa Howard Taylor is. She feels entitled because all her life, Joa have lived on the press of the Liberian people. Whether when she was the darling girl to Taylor, a certain red to white flower, where they had the Central Bank of Liberia eating government money. It's the same way. Joa all her life, if you may, you can call her, she's basically a government baby. When she's into one government to another, always finding her way around. So it's not about, the female association, people issuing statement to condemn her. I mean, yes, like you said, if that was, the other way around, where Joa Church were attacked, they would say the attack on the female was this and that. But this whole female sentiment thing in the society, I think, is not helping. I think we need to deal with it as is. I think the Liberian Council of Churches have issued another statement again, another flying sheet, I will call it. We need to go just beyond that. People who go from political parties to cause these kinds of disturbances need to be placed on trial so that we make example of them, so that we make example of these young people and make them to understand that Liberia is a country of law and not men. But mind you, these young people will not go there to do things if they don't have big backups. You saw Koji boys when they brutalized Sukulu. They only made their way to court just one time. Have you followed up on anything? They made a big thing about it, right? They took the guys to Central, they charged them, they forwarded them to court, but it was just for the ops of camera to show that government were taking steps in prosecuting them. But government were never interested.
Okay, so Darlington, with all of this, I sit down every day and ask myself, where is our president in all of this? Where is President Weah? President Weah should be at the forefront, mustering the courage to talk about peace. He was once a peace ambassador, and all of these things are happening right under his nose, and he's quiet, absolutely mute on issues that are creating tensions in our country. For instance, all of the killings in our country, yes, just this morning, there was another body discovered on the Japanese freeway, lying there in blood. A lot of deaths in our country, the president is mute. A lot of tensions in our country, the president is mute. A lot of things are happening under his nose, and he's mute. Let me just say this to President Weah. Today we see former President Charles Taylor in The Hague. He's there with nobody. Only him there in jail. Not a leg of his vice president, his finance minister, his city mayor, or all of those that serve in his cabinet are there with him. Only him serving sentence in The Hague. President Weah, I'm not praying for you to go to jail. No, I'm not praying for that. But if something is happening under your watch that may lead you to jail, you have to stop it as soon as possible. For instance, the killings. For instance, the attack on peaceful citizens by thugs that believe to be supporters of you and your regime. You keep mute on all of these things, President Weah. What I'm saying is this: you have to muster the courage and speak to the public on certain issues when it come out. But your perpetual silence on issues create an eyebrow, erase an eyebrow that you are in support of everything that is happening in this country. Absolutely. You will not take a cell phone and call, for instance, when something happened to Brakai Amara Kamara is sitting behind this microphone today, and take cell phone and call me and say, oh, Brakai, what happened to you? I'm not aware of it. It doesn't mean anything. But if you come out to the public and speak to the general public that, oh, I am not aware of this thing and I condemn it in a strongest stand, that message will resonate with the people. Then you calling me secretly, Mr. Weah. We are saying all of these things because we know you are a good man. You serve as peace ambassador. But under your watch, things are deteriorating. And it shouldn't be like that, Mr. Weah. You are sitting and all of these things that are happening. Look at the national legislature. It has become a political ground. Others went there to have a program. Your partisans saw it. They said, "Oh, they are trying to desecrate the national legislature." They themselves too, they went to talks from the street and carried them at the joint chamber. All of these things are happening under your watch, and you are absolutely mute as a certain leader. What's happening? Is it that you are not able to talk to the Liberian people? You don't. Is it that you just not able to speak on issues, or what? Those are the things that I really want to sit. I think I say, what's happening to our country? All our leaders will take them sometime 1 month they will speak to our country. They will take 1 or 2 days to speak to the nation, but not our president. The only way our president can speak to us is behind the pulpit or when he attend the functions and then people interview him. When last did the president muster the courage and say, I'm addressing the nation on national issues? Absolutely not, Darlington. So all of these things raise an eyebrow that the president is aware, is in support of it.
Yes, the days of people saying George Weah is a good man, like you have pushing that argument.
Mm.
Those are his days when he used to play on a soccer field. Even when he was on a soccer field, he was always doing business and double dealings. But let me tell you something, Boka. That is the modus operandi of President Weah. That's how he conducts himself. He pretends to the public as if he don't know what is going on. He sanction and approve and engineer all of these things that's happening in our country. That's President Weah. When the auditors were found dead on in the car on Broad Street, God bless their soul. He said the people are doing one more man business.
Sure.
The president undermines the investigation by making those kinds of flimsy comments. In the CDC, all of the different attacks on past officials of the CDC, the different petrol bomb, the brutalizing of these young people in the party, President Weah knows about it. He engineers it. He sanctions and approves it. But he presents a picture out there that he's the ambassador of peace. You think President Weah don't know that his party headquarters is harboring gangsters on the campus of the CDC? That these boys are there, the Zebra Adler forces, the Sabu unit, they go over the cover of darkness, they go after political opponents and brutalize them. He's aware of that. There's nothing that the guys who around the presidency, their operation to protect his power, they're doing that George Weah is not aware of. He's aware. In fact, Senator Prince Johnson said, the attack on his church, Weah might not have been the one who engineered it, and I don't want to believe that it was Weah who engineered it. He clearly said for his intelligence he gathered, it was engineered by Joa Howard Taylor and the MPP. But when he hear about these kinds of news, Breaker, he class it. He said, yeah, man, get working. In the eyes of the president, when Joa is taking the fight to Senator Prince Johnson doorstep, it means that he is working. That's the kind of president we have. And Breaker, who introduced the desecration of the sacredness of the Capitol building? It was the CDC. Every time President Weah go to deliver the State of the Nation address, he wants people to go there in the chambers where you got international guests to be chanting Munya Munya in the chambers of the legislature. The sacred place. Imagine, President Biden go to address U.S. Congress here. And Democrats, people go there, pro-Democrat, they start chanting a Democrat slogan in the sacred chambers. I'm sure the Speaker of the House of Representatives may probably end the section because the Speaker presides over the section. That is what a responsible democracy would do. Or probably have those people who are making us arrested and thrown out. But he knows about these things. He wants these things. In the chamber, last year, it was how Yeke Kolobagaro even raised a battle cry to counter what the CDC guys were doing in the chamber. So he knows about this. The other day, the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court met a very tragic incident in our house. Her daughter dying. As leader of the country, one would think that regardless of your political side, Councillor Gloria Mususka is not a member of any political party. She may be a lawyer, by practice to represent people from the opposition in the spirit of fairness. Everybody is entitled to a lawyer. So if people go in and solicit the contract of Councillor Scott, you shouldn't take it against her rather as she having problem with you. The president, we are even attempt to call the old man to say, I'm sorry for your loss, or to even pay a visit. Like Madam Salif or not. When Mrs. Salif was president of the country, even people from the opposition, when something happened to them, she would probably maybe place a phone call or probably go there and sympathize with the family. But this president is further dividing this country. He's probably deepening the wounds, and he don't care. If you're not in the president's secret place and say, Mr. President, everything is okay, you're not his guy. So the president knows about these things, Bweka, and no, he's not a good man. Because no good person will sit there and see the country degenerating to the point it is. And that is why when you have this kind of leadership, the people mindset in electoral processes are not focused on debates and transforming the country. The people argument now will be directed, and their anger will be directed to you, and they'll be asking you to go. So now you listen to a lot of people. All they want is Mr. We have to go. And I don't blame them. Because this guy, they have given him about 6 years. And my man, 6 years go by very fast. See what the guy he generated this country into. We are international laughing stock in the Committee of Nations. When Mr. Salif took over Bweka, the Liberian passport was at zero baseline. Go look at the acceptance rating, especially with visa issuance from the U.S. Embassy. Madame Salib, through her international friends, managed to rekindle the country and rebrand it internationally. But now you take your Liberian passport across the border, they talk about $100 million drug bust. That's the thing you'll be remembered for as a Liberian. They're going to talk about, the selling of fake passports, diplomatic passports, 16 million going missing, the killings and all of these things happening to our people. That is the imagery we are experiencing out there. So it is very pathetic. He knows about these things. He class of Joel. My man, when you are with President Weah and you don't do these things, then you're not working. Weah has Koji at the MCC for obvious reasons. He knows why. You think President Weah don't know that Koji run a paramilitary structure at the MCC? When the MCC should be talking about bringing trucks, rigs, brooms, and divert the energy of these young people to clean the center of Monrovia, Koji is turning them into extra malicious group because they don't trust the army. They want to arm their own men to the teeth. Should share head defense, they will take control of Monrovia. But come on now, you cannot intimidate people in fear. The CDC people probably need to go and read the books of the tailors. Maybe Joe Howard Taylor need to share her husband playbook with Mr. Weah. That we try all of these things, but the Liberian people have proven time or outnumbered to be a resilient people. Mama, I don't know, Bwaka. You probably you are in Monrovia. Who used to go and criticize Mr. Taylor? In fact, when Chucky Motorbike is passing, you dead cross even Chucky Motorbike, it's like a death sentence. When they tell you that they will take you and carry you to Batala, there are chances that you may not come back to survive.
Sure.
So these kinds of tactics to perpetuate your stay in power will not carry you nowhere. If you want to leave the country, think about running a democratic state and not an autocratic arrangement where you think you will coward people into fear or push people into submission from expressing their thoughts freely. No, it's all of us country. So Joanne knows about these things. She sanctions these things, masterminded, and engineer about her. That's the kind of person she is. That's why I got zero or little respect for Madam Vice President. Do I respect her as a mother? But as a national leader, all she have done was to live on the pennies and the coins of our people. She's nothing but a slave queen and a beautician. When Joe Howard Taylor do her makeup, she posts picture on Instagram. Go watch her. Let Librarian go follow her on Instagram. That's for Joelle. That's about her working. She would just take these luxurious trips all over the country. Say kind of nonsense talking about with jealous over coaching for what? Take your stupid talk somewhere else. The man is we're not criticizing yet. He can talk about jealous over coaching for what? For wearing bota and those colors that do not correspond. He says somebody jealous here. You better take your nonsense talk from on the show here. So that's how our people are, boy.
Okay, so Darlington, that's the voice of Darlington Collins and I, Boakai Amara Kamara, with their little basis on that topic. And we'll move to our second talking point, but we'll cross over to Darlington to kickstart from his end. There have been a lot of things involving this 100 million drugs bust in our country. Those that were arrested have been let go of the hook. Now they have all escaped Liberia. Darlington, is over to you.
So I read it, and thank you, Braga, for sharing the front page Africa article with us in our group chat. And all I see here basically is blame game, is the culture of not holding somebody accountable. And it's just moving in circles. And basically, when you read the statement from the Minister of Justice and from the Liberian media, they are basically pushing the blame on the jurors, the guys who were in panel to serve as jurors in this criminal case. These guys were arrested on Liberian soil when they have gone to clear or continue with over $100 million, quantity of cocaine. These guys are put to court, criminal court, presided over by Judge Blamo Dixon. How, with all of the evidence gathered, how it is possible that these guys who went through a jury trial will be acquitted on Liberian soil, and the judge instructed the Liberian authority to restitute the $200,000 that were confiscated from them? Why were they even holding that quantity of money in a country like Liberia, over 200,000. Except that they wanted to secure the container and bribe people along the Liberian security, agency with the 200K that they had. So you put them to court. They were arrested not because of the Liberian security people giving them the intelligence. But like we have said here, that every major drug that's brought into the country is engineered, is sanctioned by the executive. There are executive actors who know that these containers or those consignments are coming. But no drug cartel will raise over $100 million worth of drug to send it to a country where they do not have tip off, or especially people within the system who will be working for them. No cartel will do that. These boys care about their products. They're not going to take a container and ship it to somewhere in Africa, whether it's a transit point for smuggling in the sub-region. They're not going to do that kind of quantity of cocaine to send it to Africa, especially when they don't have people within the system. They know what will happen in Blacker. It was the Americans who provided us the intelligence. On site with the Americans, arrested people. How the evidence weren't sufficient enough to find to convict these guys of drug smuggling? How? Just how so? Because not only that you have physical evidence, all of the evidence point out. You have people who were on the scene who can get who can testify, who were part of the crime scene, who were now form of direct evidence to testify at trial to see what happened. You take them to court, criminal court, presided over by Judge Blamo Dixon. How did the judge preside over this whole trial process? There are reports that the judge even tampered with the juror's verdict. The juror have allegedly came out with a guilty verdict, but Judge Blamo Dixon sent the jurors back to go and deliberate. The role of the judge in the trial process is to remind the jurors about the rule of law and to guide them about the application of the rule of law. Judge Blamo Dixon being the judge in a criminal trial, because it's not an in-bench trial, it's a jury trial. As the judge, you have a fiduciary responsibility to protect the law, to inform the jurors, because that is why the Constitution says when people face criminal trial, they will be tried by their own peers. And that is why in the judiciary, you have that's why the jurors come in. So being tried by your own peers, it's not a blank check that the jurors will just go and deliberate or anything. The role of the judge is to safeguard the jurors and to advise them about the applicable rule. To say, this is the law. The law says in 1, 2, 3, and 4, if people bring drugs into the country, this, and this will happen to them. Remind them about the law. Arm them with the facts. You can't just tell a man to go deliberate without you telling him what the law provides. The evidence, the rule of evidence. What does the Liberia Penal Code says under their rule of evidence? How evidence are obtained? How are they preserved? How are they brought to court? The chain of custody of the evidence. How are you?
Okay.
Are you
taking? Let me just come in from what I listened to yesterday from the spokesperson of the Justice Ministry. He said in the case there was no evidence from the government of Liberia to prosecute those that were arrested. He said what the government carry were just flying sheets, the rate of arrest and other things, but a tangible evidence that those that were arrested that can be based on so they can be prosecuted. There was no evidence. That's according to the spokesperson of the Judicial yesterday. I listened to him on a local radio station, and according to him, he said there is a top-notch person within this government that is behind this particular $100 million drugs burst in the country, and the person haven't been named yet in our country. So we want to know, if I was the interviewer of that guy yesterday, he could have told me who behind this particular job burst in our country. You said there's a top-notch person.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. First of all, what triggered the case to court by the prosecution? What triggered the case to court? Evidence. Physical evidence, direct evidence, circumstantial evidence. There is not circumstantial evidence. There is not your hearsay or the evidence pointing to this, uncover that. You saw a container. Didn't you see a container with drugs in it? Were photographs not taken?
No, Darlington, what he said was that
Except you telling me that the prosecution deliberately, consciously refused to take those evidence to court. Then I mean the government has no interest in prosecuting this case.
What is said, Darlington, was that
I come in a Bweka. If the government, who is the prosecution, don't even take the pictures of the container that they took, that they found, then why are we even in court? Because I mean the containers of cocaine, of course, it constitutes the fruit of the crime. They will be packed somewhere, in custody until the trial is going on. There will be photographs. There will be substance extracted from the container and meted into evidence and markings of the code into the records of the code. So two things might happen here, Bweka. Apparently, the executive people knew that there will be a jury panel. When these jurors are there, they use people under the cover of darkness to go and bribe them so that they will not give them the verdict they want. Because mind you, when these kinds of criminal cases are going on, Bweka, the government hosts them. The jurors don't go back to their house. They stay on the grounds of the Capitol building. They live there. They are in panel for that period. And there are reports in the Liberian judiciary system where the judiciary only use a selected few of people. They keep recycling. In fact, in Liberia, being a juror is just like a full-time job, Bweka. That is not what the true intent of the law is. When people who are called to jury duty, those must be random people, not people who will be. Some people have been jurors in our place for more than 11, 12 years.
Yes.
The whole application through the Ministry of Justice that they use to recruit jurors is fraud. People bribe their way to be selected as jurors because the government paid them. So if you
everything,
because the only people that can go and see those people, they are provided security for by the Liberian National Police and the court, the bailiff and the court securities, right? Nobody go in there to go and talk with the juror until the trial is over. So how are these jurors being tampered with? Except people are top government officials are placing call in there, and it's Liberia, Bweka. It's Liberia.
Yeah. Darlington, so what the government is trying to do, most especially for the Ministry of Justice.
Let me tell you something. Musa Dean may not know exactly what is happening, but there are bigger honor here and honor power. Look, let me tell you something. The judge is not stupid. If somebody in the higher ups place the call to the judge, that is way more than the Minister of Justice. You know who the judge will listen to?
Darlington, when you say Musa Dean may not be in the know, how will Musa Dean be in the know when he says the drugs burst? Not a day Musa Dean attended court or he went at the court for the hearing of this case.
He is not. Listen, he as much as he's the government chief lawyer, he's not the one prosecuting the case.
Yeah, but Darlington, he should be present at least 1 or 2 times to get more information on what's happening.
It doesn't change the fact, right? The government have prosecutors, right? The government prosecutors who work for the Ministry of Justice. They provide reports to the Solicitor General, who now informs the Minister of Justice. As are you telling me that the Minister of Justice will be on all the different court cases in courtroom? Bweka, what happened here was... What happened here was... regardless of whether it's $200 million case, the Minister of Justice is not a position where you go to court and go and be saying and be listening to all the cases. In fact, your presence in the courtroom, do you know that your presence in the courtroom could raise some ethical concern? That even the defendant, the defendant counsel could say, well, we see the executive interfering. They can ask the judge to ask the Minister of Justice to leave the courtroom. It happens, but I'm not saying that it cannot happen. It happens. If the defense counsel can make an argument to ask the government to say, why is the Minister of Justice here? It's unprecedented. Because lawyers in the court, they have been trying cases. We have been prosecuting cases. Why now this case, the Minister of Justice for some reason come? Are you coming here to intimidate the judge or something? So the judge should be impartial. He manages the courtroom. He manages the juror. He gave them the applicable rule. Except you telling me there were 2 fundamental problems here with the case. The government prosecution deliberately refused. And I listen here to the Front Page Africa report you sent us. Some of the prosecutors are arguing that they don't have adequate time to prepare for trial. Are the government giving these prosecutors overloading cases? Are they overloading their plates? Because for lawyers to go to court, they need time to do research. They need time to study the fact of the case. But if I'm a prosecutor, for example, and you're giving me way more case load than I can carry, there are huge chances that I will not even focus on researching the facts, preparing for trial, and you will go to trial, and in the litigation process, you'll be flogged. So 2 things happen here, Boyka. The government probably didn't present their evidence, and it was deliberate. And they probably know what they did with the jurors. The jurors probably might have gotten a hands-on handshake. Until we can change these things, why would jurors be like a full-time job in Liberia? Remember, there are some people in that country, Boyka, they have been to that Temple of Justice for more than 10 years. They tell they are jurors. How? In countries, when they say you call for jury duty, you don't even know. The court just write you the same to your mailing address. It must be a transparent process. That is why in the voir dire process, the government prosecution and the defense counsel can question the integrity of those jurors. How many cases have they tried before? It matters, Boyka. What is their understanding of case of such nature? Before jurors are selected, there's a process called the voir dire process. So how are they even asking these jurors? How are the jury credibility brought into question? Are they impeaching jurors? So that is the problem, Boyka, and the government know everything that's happening. They gave these people a very fat handshake. That I will tell you. That much I can say.
Yeah. So the next thing here is that what image have they showing to the international world about Liberia? That's one. Number 2, with the involvement of our international partners, the U.S. Embassy and other international community getting involved, closely monitoring this, and this just ending like the way in there. What message does this send to our international or our number 1 ally, the U.S. Embassy close to Liberia? So all of these things, our image is absolutely tarnished now out there, Darlington. Like a $100 million drugs case can just go scot-free in our country, and we think that investors will come back home to invest in Liberia. Those are some of the things, the messages that are out there. We were just on BBC a few days ago that a major drug bust, a case involving such in our country, just got scot-free. Darlington, the image of our country is totally damaged under this administration. And the judges sat there and allowed this to happen. And the Minister of Justice also acting to say he's not involved into this, or he doesn't know anything that is happening about this. He's so disappointed about the actions that were taken at the Ministry of Justice. So all of these, they are all blame games now. This other person is blaming Party X. Party X is blaming Party B and X, Y, and Z. Absolutely. They're just another 2-3 days talk, and it will be gone under the carpet. We'll forget about the discussion. We'll focus on another thing when there's another topic coming up again in Liberia. So this is where we are, Darlington. And the Americans, our international partners, will not just let go of some of these things because they know that under our administration, this occurred, and there was no good redress towards it. Absolutely no good redress. What I understand from the spokesperson yesterday, he said to me, the company that is involved with the importation of the drugs, there have been drugs seized from them twice. Not only this, another $40 million drugs was seized from them. And this company that is importing the drugs here, they are giving free access to the port.
Of course.
When they bring in container, there's nobody to search their container. Absolutely nobody. The top-notch official of the government have told everybody at the free port of Liberia, whenever this particular company bring in container, nobody should search. The head of the port, how they call them, the guys at the port, those that import stuff and continue. The Brokers Association also appear in court. He was clear. He told the lawyers that this we have raised an eyebrows on a particular company. They're always in a habit of bringing in continuums, and we don't search their continuum. We don't know anything about this container because the government said that whenever they bring in container, nobody should search a container. When they are coming out of the port securities, they are being informed that those containers shouldn't be searched. So where we are, Darlington, here, this is it. A company coming in with a consignment, they will say that they are bringing in PFIT. But whenever they are bringing in PFIT, their PFIT can be checked by this government.
I stand to be corrected on this. I think they were the same people who brought in fish and offloaded it to Topo Village. And in the fish, they were smuggling drugs.
Yes, they are.
I think they're the same people. These people know what is going on, and they are setting forces. Maybe it could be the 5-star general of the country, the CIC. Maybe he knows what is going on. Maybe he needs to tell us, because for people to bring that quantity of drugs in the country, there is no way that people in the executive will not be aware. Nobody want to. But think about it, right? No minister will shield, a group of people to be bringing, using the country as a drug transiting point. And especially when the president has an intelligence on you, not only that you fear being fired, you could be prosecuted for that. But apparently the executive need to tell us what is happening. Why is it that under Mr. Weah Wash, our country are far degenerated into a drug cartel? That people are just bringing this container, that container. Can you imagine, Boyka? In the 21st century, you arrested a container worth of over $100 million worth of drugs, and you take that to court. And for some reason, your judicial system, whether it's your jurors or whatever, they bring down a non-guilty verdict. And not only that, the court is instructing the government to give the poor $200,000 and thank you for bringing drugs. Can you imagine?
The people that are supposed to receive the money, the 200,000, all of them fled the country.
The minister of justice, the court now when they say you're free, the court say I'm come for your money. You come for your money now. Yep. So the minister of justice is saying he's looking for the people to arrest the people. Councillor Dean, don't waste our time. Elite. 200,000 we're talking about $100 million, Breaker. You know what is $5 million if I talk about $100 million? That the people, people go carry that and say, okay, we have our 200,000. Musa didn't use it. The 200,000 the people left there. At least you managed to face the prison system. You fear our people. You depopulate the prison. You're trying to do that because the people are not coming for their money. So you're looking for the people.
You think that money stay there? Like you think that money stay there?
The minute say the money there, me, I don't know.
The court is telling the government to give back the people money. You think that money there? The people are even arrested. You think that 200,000 stayed with them?
I don't know what they chief for 100,000, 100K to go to the farm, and the man of 100K, all of men can share. I don't know, but my man, I know. So Musa did say looking for the people come for their money. But basically, Buaka, what this tells us is that the Americans have given up on us. Our international friends,
totally,
they have gotten to a point where they have given up on us. The people use their intelligence system to gather an intelligence that in your country, they kind of drug coming in. And you bring that kind of ready, it sickens the people to their stomach, brother. I mean, in as much as the Americans want to help us, I don't think Liberians, especially the executive, I don't think we are serious, especially in bringing this, climbing down on this on the drug raid. I don't think we're getting anywhere, brother. And it's very sad.
Okay. All right. So we will open the phone lines on 0770-102-102, 0886-010-383, 555-102-102. We have plenty of time to talk to our callers this morning. You listen to the two talking points. You can make your contribution on 0770-102-102, 886-010-383, 555-102-102. The WhatsApp number is +231 888 624171, and you will be live with us this morning on the Costa Show. Is Darlington Collins and Boakai Amara Camera presentation. Now we'll take our first caller here. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, Boakai.
Yep, your name is Johnny. What's from?
Michael Gutumu is my name. Let me tell money to your guest.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's please very well. The CRC of this state, each person of person we are.
Mm. Hello? Hello? Oh, I don't know what's happening to your line, Marco. You have to call back. 0770-102-102, 886-010-383. Those in the diaspora can call on our WhatsApp number plus 231-888-624171. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, your name is joining us from. Hello? Okay, I'll take somebody from the WhatsApp number. I don't know what's happening to that line. Good morning.
Good morning, Boga. Good morning to many people listening. Boga, I got a comment to make on the Jaws issue.
Yeah.
Where in this world has now an international panel would discover the sub-continent of Jaws and then turn it over to our country to investigate the situation. And in the process of the investigation, the country conclude that, oh yes, the boy is not guilty, you should turn the money over to them. What kind of evidence or proof do you need to prosecute these people? There's no evidence. You have a sample of the judge. First of all, nobody travel in the country without type of money. 200,000 United States dollar. That's money laundering right there.
Hello, my brother. What the judges are saying that those that were arrested, they are not the rightful persons that were arrested. The government know those that are behind it, and they should go and arrest them. Those that were arrested are not the rightful people. That's what the judges are saying.
But in the process of that, they have one option. The teenage people that they show who is the owner of the container, who asked them to bring the justice in the country. That's the process.
Don't you think they'll be infringing on the people's right?
There's no infringement right now on their right, because in the first place they infringe on the country right by bringing such a quantity of justice in the country to kill on young people. Do you know how many times that people been dying for our jobs? Hold the people. If you say you don't have no evidence on the hold the people and keep detaining and asking who are the one that asked and I told them to bring such a justice in the country. But you cannot release and let the justice minister come and say, oh yes, he was not aware. Who is the Solicitor General? Let the Solicitor General tell the country what happened. Let him go and explain to the public what happened. You can't release the people and then tell them say get the 200,000 back.
Okay. Thank you so much, my brother. I'll take somebody from this line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name is joining us from?
Michael, you're from Senior.
Welcome, Michael.
Yeah, thank you. My brother, let me start by condemning the both parties with the same manner they executed on Sunday. I mean, the guys at Prince Johnson's church. I think, the guys leaving the party headquarters and going over there, I think I was wrong. On the other hand, we should not forget about the senator. Prince Johnson is always hiding behind the pulpit, to engage people like that. That place, the church, the pulpit is a sacred place. I need to be respected. But Prince Johnson, when you go on his Facebook page, you'll have been invited to my church. I'll be addressing and responding to the vice president on Sunday at the church. Is that where you go and respond to politicians? I think that was bad on Prince Johnson's side.
So it means that President, we shouldn't be preaching or attacking people from behind the pulpit, right?
All of us will condemn that. I also condemn that.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah, I also condemn that. All of us as Liberians, we should condemn those kind of attitudes. We should not go to the church to do these things. My brother, you want to be friends here? Prince Johnson is already happy of doing that. We should frown at him on that.
Yeah, so when you saying it, you have to involve. You say Prince Johnson and George are always involved in that because not Prince Johnson one.
Yeah, that Prince Johnson one, but you just said you have that. You all the talk here do you didn't mention what I'm saying too to condemn Prince Johnson. We should be friends. We should put our brother first and forget about the politics of my brother.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. If you listened to the show yesterday, you know that we condemn that. Probably you didn't follow the show yesterday. So that's it. So we're still taking your calls. Keep them coming in. 0770-102-102. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah. Your name is joining us from.
And good morning to your colleagues as well.
Yeah.
This is Andrew Moses. I love Kev Hassan Pikin, and I joined the conversation from my District 13 resident.
Welcome, Andrew.
You know, brother, while it is true that every Liberian will want their rights to be respected under the law. Yes, but foreigner agents or immigrants too, they are also entitled to that. The crime that were committed, the alleged crime that were committed, we should not hold the wrong people for nothing. Let us say this. We know that the issue of drugs is spoiling our young brothers and sisters. But we should not accuse the wrong people. In fact, the crime that were committed under our law is bearable. So for people to say that you have kept these people under detention, I think it is not, it was not going to occur well for the Liberian government as well. These people also entitled to their rights. Yes, fine, they are foreign national, but they are entitled to their rights. I listened, I followed that case religiously, and I also listened to Darius Ambulman yesterday on OTFM. You see, this is why the government lawyer will always lose cases. You went to court with somebody, and then the Solicitor General, in that kind of cases, we expect the Attorney General to appear in court. But in short, in your office, he did not appear in court, but he want to critique the ruling that comes from the court. Who does that?
All right. Thank you so much for your call. That was just what I said here. 0770-102-102. We'll stay taking your calls. Keep them coming in. Let's take another person from this angle here. Good morning.
Good morning. Morning.
Yeah, your name is joining us from?
From Quebec.
Welcome.
Yeah, before I mean just say if one guy when he propose you call you the Supreme Johnson issue, but you don't get it right. If you didn't get the face to discuss the issue because you know it with the government. I listened, as you said, I listened to the chief spokesperson of the Judicial yesterday. It's a cartel set for a particular company. I know it's a NSL, so a company.
Yes,
they always in collaboration with Abidjali and the government know about it. The first time the people said you continue. Massive draw of 100 million was discovered. The second time, 40 million. Always they allowing that particular company continue in the country and leave the poor free. They put the civil security attest to that. The custom broker attest to that. All the people to the put attest to that. So now people push getting people all around here. So I think we just talk about things as we say. I think above the justice minister, but we just doing the cover phase, as you said, in Liberia after 1 or 2 weeks, they think with that. But for America is just a trap. The animal can forget, they can't forget. So when we forget about it, the people documenting their thing, and at the end of the day, those are supposed to feed the way, they'll feed the way. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, thank you so much. We'll stay taking your calls on 077 0102 102 886 010383 555 102 102. Let's take this person here. Good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning. Your name is joining us from?
Yeah, slave of the land, Michael Gotomo.
Michael, welcome back.
Yeah. Like your guest said, there's no country or just trader will send $100 million jobs. Definitely. Many people within that leadership of that country should be aware. In the CRC of this state, President Weah, we know the history. We know the history. At the time President Weah was living, in such a life, there's a news that came out on him that in fact he was caught somewhere where people were dealing drugs. You see, they come about him. I'm the executive director of Youth Against Drug Addiction in Liberia. For the past time, we've been calling on national government in supporting with the young people to see our best, to appear on various media institutions, to conscientize our young people, but there's no support.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Lautek Sekachipo, the religious advisor to the Costa Show. Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you, BK. Good morning to you, my dear brother. And I would like to say good morning to Darlington also this morning. And for the public, I am the religious advisor to the Costa Show, and I'm calling from Necklace Town this morning. You know, Darlington, the two of you, I must appreciate the two of you this morning for your talking point. You know, the Liberian people are watching. Sometimes they will be calling. I mean, at the Costa Show, you know, but the way you put it this morning, man, Darlington, thank you, man. People are listening to the two of you, and they are very happy. But let me go to the point. You see the issue of drugs. Let me go back to my uncle record, George Weah, right? 2014, the man went to visit someone in America, best man, his friend, right? And that friend was arrested for what? Drugs. So this entire drugs business gains fame when Joe we are took over. My man, let me say this. We that was in the Talikles division in Freeport for years. My man, when they continue coming, come we be on leading, yeah? The be on leading will tell you say this continue belong to Boakai Camara. Eh? And then to whom it is going, the name will also be mentioned. The company is clearly spelled out there. Then the company is right here in our nose. My brother, why you think they are not going after the company? It's because Fina Bono they are in rapport with these people. So we're just going to be wasting our time to talk about it. George Weah himself is aware. I'm going to go to chemical resource. Any of the day you go there, you're going to see something different. Let me go to the issue again about Janito saying something that touched me, and this is the problem between George Weah and myself. He pretends. Now, when Blamo children were seized by St. Moses, today they are gone, right? The Blamo now reached out to his own countryman, George Weah. Blamo has somebody at the executive marshal called Emmanuel Porter. Emmanuel local Blamo told Mr. Blamo say, Papi, this thing, I can put my mouth inside here. Today, Blamo can find his son. Joe Weah knows about it, and he has not said a word. So the man is just kind of person who like to pretend. Thank you for affording me the time.
Okay, thank you so much, Seka Chipo. We will take a few more calls then across over to Darlington. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Brother Boga.
Good morning. Your name is joining us from?
Thank you for the program this morning. I'm Richard Goodman calling from my District 10 resident.
Welcome.
Boga, you see what is happening in the country here. The president, he has credit showing to others. He does not want to be president in the country here again, but there are certain people just trying to force him, saying that they want to make him president. Because since the president get into power, I have not seen him speaking on any violence that would go on in the country. In fact, the president came on while people die, responsible people, the guy their home, they left from their home, they went to die, their body was found in car. The president told that the people were having sex in their car. The president here, he has clearly proven that he not able to job here. So if all the people were forcing to make him president, that means that the Liberian people themselves we don't need well for ourselves.
But listen, you say when you say the man it was a job, then the man recontesting the man says saying that he going back there. You say the man it was a job.
It's just people forcing him there. It's just people forcing him there. It's just certain people, they are enriching themselves through him, and he is said to he enriching himself. They are just making him, But if you look at the way in which Nana, the way they ring for, when the ring is falling, during those days, we the children, that's the time we're gonna get on in the ring to go play. Nana, you go to the sporting park, you will see Joe where they're playing football on in the ring. So that means that he trying to tell that he not want that job yet, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you,
I know the man playing the ring.
Thank you so much. The guys are interested.
Well, I know the replay. I can talk.
No, the replay. I say, no, the replay football. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello.
Good morning, fat boy.
This is This is Hassan calling from China.
Okay, welcome, Hassan.
Yeah. But I'm gonna comment by telling you guys thank you very much in studio today. I just have my contribution. That is to say that we from the opposition bloc, I want for us not to just sit and look at what's going on in Liberia. Apparently before taking any action. What I'm asking here is that, like for instance, the AU students went to the embassy over there, the American embassy. The CDC talks and the kids went over there and beat on the one of our comrades got hurt, all that. And then later again, recent time, Clark Gray took some guys from the Long Street over there, like the boys, football, and other boys who I know because I live in Singapore. I was only I know all those guys that were and most of them I know them. He took on the campus over there to go and disturb the students, not taking for all. And what you are seeing right now happened a few days ago at the BYG church. So these are things they are doing. They are intentionally doing it to see if what will be our reaction. Because when the October 10th come and then they happen to break the election, they are trying to wish order and see how we are going to react. Okay. So that what I'm saying, I'm just urging all the opposition, let us try to be and stop and put stop to these guys. That is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now take says Evangeline Mamita. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, okay. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Welcome to the show.
How are you, Darlington?
How are you, Mama?
I just want to speak on the VP, aka that was time to eat. This great for power woman, she have the audacity. I remember when the war started, I was in Abidjan. Those women used to come in their plateau, can't do their nails, while their husbands were killing innocent people. Her husband interfered with Sierra Leone war and cut off children's arms. And when she went on BBC, they asked her what she think her husband did wrong. She said she never see anything. Her husband didn't do nothing wrong. And she defended her husband. She sit in that place with her banker big behind and left the other day, the young man, I don't know, Sekou or somebody on the show, he had a radio show or I can't remember the show, and they respected her like no one business. And the president never criticized that young man for degrading his VP. When she never had her pay, she was complaining. She squeezed her face, got angry, and they went and gave her money. Anytime a young woman die in that place, that woman will be mute. She the same person when they talk about war crime code. She said we are brothers and sisters. We don't need war crime code.
Yeah.
Okay. B, why are you now talking about Prince Johnson? Prince Johnson, I'm not a fan of Johnson. You have the audacity to call Yakov Kaluba and all those people. Yes, Prince Johnson must have been a key major player, but your husband also is your husband. He's in jail. He's not even prosecuted for killing for what he did to Liberians. And since George Weah took you, he been going down the stream because of you. The Americans do not support you. So now you're greedy for power. You want to come and open your pipe to come and speak on issue because you want to stay in power.
All right, thank you so much.
Oh, my says Evangeline going Guato.
Yeah.
So now if you have to say, oh my, we gotta call you off. But says Evangeline going Guato in the morning.
Let me take 2 more calls. Then Darlington will come in from the analysis on the callers. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Chief?
I'm doing pretty well. Your name is joining us from?
I'm the political problem member. Calling for dollar this morning.
Welcome.
Thank you. Specifically, I want to speak to the current vice president. The current vice president had the audacity, she had the propensity, she had the disposition, the tendency to attack the greatest senator ever in our country history, and the Senator Ibrahim Darassilon. So let me just say something. The current vice president is a woman who is a self-centered person. When has she ever come out to condemn the issue of rape? Our young women have been condemned. So many times they have been raped. And one of these days she has never come on one day to ever make a public statement. And sometimes you hear her saying that she became a vice president for a female. But when has she ever come in defense of women? Of course not. She will only get angry when her salary has been at a delay, when her car is smoking. And that's the only time she was talking. So this lady is always there for herself. And let me just say this about the issue of the death. Every day, oh no, the former vice president will die. I want to ask the current vice president, what power does she have at the time when her cocky palm, Maputo Nipa was dying? Because Maputo Nipa was young. So why she couldn't come and stop him from dying because he was young? Okay. Because death is only attributed to old people nowadays. So when her prophet was dying, why she couldn't stop her prophet from dying?
No, don't do that. We don't know for a fact. But let me take Angelo Meden, Darlington. You can listen to the caller that analysis. But DJ Lomé, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Boka, and good morning to Darlington. Look, I think yesterday, Mr. Man was saying, if you really go by if Boka, I want you to get a volume of document that Mr. Man talked about yesterday on the OKFM. Because you will not get the meat of these people. Because the H&A stay here.
Yeah, H&A.
I will say H&A, that whistleblower. Those people must be brought to justice, and the whole key of the whole drugs cartel is that red order. Let it bring the people, because the people get duty free, they do check their continuum. So that means they have been doing it. It has something else. You go catch innocent men, they drown in that bring car. Somebody want to hire a transport authority, they may go there, they may go for the money. Then you grab that man, you can't tell it, man, say the man are drugs. You know that lie. H&H right here is the importer of the drugs. Their name is on the so they should be carried to court and let it get all fact. Why had the drugs in here that the name came through so that the court was right. Thank God it was not being trial for them to say the judge accept money. It is clear that this government here is in the drug business. This is one of the reasons why they don't want to sign a drug law. Okay. Thank you this morning, my brother.
Thank you, Darlington. You take some minute to listen to a few of the callers before we take some of them. You listen to them, and all of them are raising an eyebrow on the issue about the drugs case in our country.
Waka, all I have to say is that mothers, if you used to pray 3 times a day for your sons or your daughters, I think you need to increase it to 6 times a day. Because Mr. Weah, they are. I'm very serious. Waka, Mr. Weah, they are much more exposed to drug abuse. You need to hold fast to your boys. Take charge of them, because if you expect this government to clamp down on drug and stop the importation of narcotics in our country, I'm sorry. It is not going to happen. And you listen to the callers. A lot of the people are not happy about the way the case went.
Yeah.
I mean, sadly, those guys are not around. You can't make progress again. They are left the country.
Sure.
You can't find them. So I mean, what is it take away from that? You know, I mean, you say you're looking for the people, the joint security say they're looking all around the country. In fact, there are people in the security who are even help the people to even
sure. Escape.
Escape the country. So I don't know where you're looking for. So mothers, if in the country, please hold fast to your boys' children. Especially your boys. Hold them up. If you used to pray 3 times for them, that God will in fact increase it to 6. Because it is sad, but look, you know, when I watched a video the other day about a young brother who is struggling with substance abuse. And the child call his age, I got scared for him. What a 12-year-old doing with heroin or taking cocaine? 12-year-old? That is not just we're not talking about war affected youth anymore. We're talking about, post-war era. We're talking about just maybe with the end of Mr. Salif, our second tenure, and that child was probably born around maybe 2010, 2011. And here we are. He's already taking cocaine. Where's the country going, Bwaga? Parents need to hold fast to their boys' children, because if you depend on central government to do these things for you, I'm sorry. It's not going to get anywhere.
Okay. Let's take some more calls here. Let's come back and take this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bwaga.
Yeah, your name is joining us from?
Bwaga, my name is Jay Parker. I'm phoning from Banamfield, Keba. I want to say hi to you and Daniel. Bwaga, what you are saying yesterday, I didn't listen to the spokesman from the Judicial yesterday, who is Darius Ambushman. And exactly what you are saying is what he said yesterday on local radio show. He said the government only provided 5 evidence against the prosecution, and that evidence that they provided, evidence was inconsequential to hold this guy liable for the drugs that enter in this country. And also he went further to say the bill of lading was not even in this garden. They were in this community, SPZ company who imported the continuum. So how can you hold these guys for such a crime? And most often, the company that brought in the drugs or the continuum was not in this garden. So the government has shown all for all work or lot. The government has shown they are responsible for the drugs, and they are higher up in this government who are backing this guy on the drug level. So you cannot hold these guys accountable for this job. And we have when you had big things within the game that playing the God achieve then. So the government say fly, the government say misery. And this is why we need to mark our forces and what put it out of the system. We don't need that kind of government within our country system.
All right.
So, Baka.
Thank you.
Yeah, Baka.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now take this person. Good morning.
Hey, brother.
Yep. Your name is joining us from?
Yeah, okay, thank you. Brother, I'm Nene Divantiapo and I call from district number 16, the political apostle. Yeah, okay, let me say it has up to people that have the force of magic and calling. They haven't seen first. Okay, you see what happened there? I don't want to touch on the issue of the former the current vice president. You see, the reason why this lady she's breathing a day is that she's trying to do this to book or space as well as value really make to President George Manuel Weah, because we are getting information that President George Manuel Weah he was making decision to find another person to run with him. But because of this now, so she won't be too very rude and arrogant in her doing things for people to say yes, she's very active. That's the game she's playing, but she's harming herself. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now take this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Baga.
Yeah, your name is joining us from?
This is also Fofana call for Chibito Project Community.
Welcome.
Yeah, Baga, thank you for your topic on the discussion this morning. Baga, the just issue, no president, we are as a president in the country. The just issue will not finish in the country. And we vote to the job will not finish in the country. Or say president, we can strictly make for in the power. Or else we in the mess. Thank you, Baga.
Thank you so much. Except we take this man from in power, or else the drugs issue will not finish from our country. That's according to him. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Baka, and good morning, Director, and good morning to our many listeners in Liberia.
Obadiah, welcome.
You okay? My name again is Obadiah Jable, calling from South Korea. So, Baka, let me say this to you people and to Liberians. You know, when we sit here and we follow the conversation every day in Liberia, and we follow the kind of violence that take place in our country, it just kind of, discouraging and scaring. If you can remember some part of 2019 or 2020 in District 19, we saw Jefferson Koji with his men. A lot of violence took place over there where he led a group of people to go and disrupt the whole electoral process in District 13. We also monitor it in District 15, where we saw when Teller you were attacked on a heavy attack. Now the general election is coming, and we seen it. We saw a group of men going to a church. So my thinking here is that, say what you may say about Prince Johnson, I'm not a supporter of Prince Johnson, but if you will send people to Prince Johnson church or in the name of Prince Johnson is hiding behind the pulpit and then preaching politics, then you should do the same to Joey, because every time Joey go to a church, he cannot preach the gospel. All he preach is about politics.
Okay.
He has said a lot of things to his church.
Right.
So this is why we are calling on to all Liberians, people who believe in us, to support Alexander Cummings. He's the only person that will change Liberia.
Okay.
And as hello?
Conclude.
To conclude,
yeah.
I will say this to you. We Liberians were being voting for reason. 1997, people voted Taylor. They said that Taylor could protect them. 2005, we voted Manasali. We said Manasali has the international contact. 2017, they voted Joel. They say he has the popularity and he is an indigenous. Now the Liberian people are saying we don't want all those things. What we need is job. Give our job, make us independent, and we will do the rest. And we believe that Mr. Cummings is the person that can provide job for the Liberian people. We don't want any other thing. We want Alexander Cummings who will come and make our country peaceful and make the economy stable. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. So the man I'm Maki.
The man I'm Maki, man. Say, Leo, y'all who listening to call and market your own man.
You're quite marking your own people then. You see that? Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning, boycott.
Good morning. Your name is Johnny us from?
This is the former general, General Solo from FPC.
Welcome. Go ahead and make your contribution.
How are you, sir? I want to say to my Papa Frank Johnson, we are in camp now. We'll be coming to the church on Sunday. We already bring all the men to town because we are fully prepared to show joy. We are doing the first step in claim the first step. The second step, here, joy, we're not going to claim that second step. And anybody who food that says they will come to that church on Sunday. It will be a real job.
Bro, we're not really calling for
No,
that.
my man, no.
Always start on this platform, bro. Sorry about that. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name is Johnny us from?
Okay, I join you from the 11th Street Belt. My name is Emmanuel Davey.
Email, welcome.
I'm not a regular caller of the show, but I'm constrained to call this morning.
Okay.
Okay, I have listened to 7 radio stations since this morning. All of the 7, I listen to Pan FM, Super FM, all of the radio stations. And I listen to Freedom FM and that of the Voice of Liberia. I mean, this thing that is affecting everyone of us in Liberia. Some people want to politicize this in the name of to certify this government. Every sector of our country, drugs is the order of the day. And very soon, these guys that have the financial willpower, which of course they are ruling this country, if the people can no longer get their way through, they'll go after them. Because why? They are being intoxicated already with that drugs. So my advice to the president is that don't give this a blind eye. After a decade from now, you'll be no longer president or whatever it is. You're still going to come back to contest. It is a legacy that is so wow upon to either be president or to deny him or being a president.
Wait, my man. They call us the president who will come. The president's son. We want his sons. The one like a two party or Timothy, the soccer player. Which one?
We'll take 3 more calls, then we'll wrap it up on today's edition of the show. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Baka.
Yeah, your name is Johnny us from?
Oh, I'm President from King Johnson Road.
Welcome.
Baka, my attention has been tuned to our president, vice president. I want to say this to our vice president. We want peace. We gotta be careful in the country because they say once a soldier, always a soldier. I know what she and her husband did in the country, and I know what she is capable of doing. So all soldiers get free from around the barrier. I know what I'm saying. The small, easy getting the small violence and not called for. Where is Joy Howard Taylor when she and her husband were trained child soldier around here, giving them drugs, giving them guns to go open be better stomach because they did from that beat it because interesting they will get around here. When after I said don't call people in giving shots in long people unit so in truck when dumb them go and cover them. We don't want that thing again no more. So the small violence let it stop it. Okay. I know what I'm saying.
All right.
They gotta stop it.
Thank you so much. Let's take this person from the diaspora. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Baka. How you doing? Morning to Darlington. I'm Hakeem family calling from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Welcome.
Yeah, Darlington has said also there is nothing the government will do about the drugs business. The government hanging out drugs business, so all what is going around, we just sorry for our brother and sister. What they should do, they should put Jowia out. That's it. But if they elect Jowia, that country is not going nowhere. Drugs will continue coming to that country, and the international community of other partners, no development will come in Liberia.
Okay. Thank you. 2 more calls. Okay. Let's take this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Paco.
Paco.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Good morning to my guests. Good morning to my petrol. Yeah. It's gospel well. Paco, their country, the president has divided their country. We now have president who can I don't call himself. If you buy the whole country, but never belong to God. We are Liberia, they could not be divided. Liberia are one.
You can't come and put the country on party level. That one call me wrong. Everything I was my parents talking in the studio that everything will go in the country. The president know everything about it. So what in a place when you went to the former president bless or say go where your blessing. Went to my office, me money in my office. I never pay any like money. So they turn around and causing like grand people. Yeah. She causing like grand people. One child in the head today. I think Johnny in the head. I think Johnny won't care people in the place. Every paper in the war. I want people to say they walk around coca. But people talk a president. The president in Nigeria, what they were here. But people was not part of that thing. Muya, why were here? But the Prince Johnson get support to the phone papa and then you the devil. Then never behind you. Go to the chat and get their power. See how you are confused and general answer. No question. She can say. She can say
okay, thank you so much, Paco. Our last caller. Good morning. You're the last caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Baba. Good morning, Darling.
Yeah, your name
My name is Musti calling from the US. I'm just very disappointed when it comes to trust issue in our country. Because I live in the US, but I got all my family in Liberia. I got nephews, I got nieces, I got cousins. How can a trust land in a country without a proof, without nobody being there that know about it? That makes no sense. So if Liberian people telling the American government that they lie on those people, that they lie, they didn't see any continuum of trust, is that what it is? What more can America do for Liberia? What more?
Okay.
They are out there finding parts and giving it today, and they refuse to work these things out to make our country better. Our youth are on the street. They are begging, they are getting crazy. Like people are dying every day. It makes me sick from my stomach. When I listen to Liberia politics, it makes me sick. Violence upon violence.
Okay.
Where are we going? What's going on with Liberia? That's my question this morning. What is the president doing? Do we even have a president in Liberia?
Okay, thank you so much, our sister from the diaspora. So that brings us to the end on the call-in segment of the show. Darlington, you listen to all of the callers. All of them are disappointed. They are concerned about drugs in our country, how it is destroying our youthful generation and generation to come. As
Well, Liberians, you have a perfect opportunity with all of the contradictions in opposition, with all of the optical criticisms about what some of our things should be. You have a perfect opportunity to move in and save a dying country. It is your children's future that is at stake. It is our country that we have to protect. Bwaga, the generation of what affected you that we have to deal with, they are still around. I just sent you a video, Bwaga, to your messenger. See teenagers. That the country is lacking behind. When we should be sending young men to school, they are on drugs. These will be the same men that will come under the call of darkness to arouse you, because the thing is addictive. Workout, when people sleep, they come in the morning, they want to go by again, so they will find by all means necessary, whether they will go to visit you, to harm you, to steal from you, to get money, to go and buy their products and take it in, they will have to do it. You have an opportunity in October of this year to change this government. The choice is yours. There are a lot of people who want to be president. Mr. Joseph Boaga wants to be president. Mr. Cummings wants to be president. Mr. Tiawon Gonglo wants to be president. Look on the presidential shelf, and among them, and pick one of the best you think that can move this country in the proper trajectory. The children's future is at stake. Liberian youth, they are lacking behind. Yes, Mr. Weah knows everything about it, but he got little interest in taking affirmative action. And nobody should say, oh, well, we are now be president and people forcing, I beg you, yeah. Now that the man have tested presidential executive power, he enjoys it. He loves the presidency. You know what I mean? You come in, everybody Chichi. When Monica here and there, also Chi, you know, say hello. So he enjoys that. Like that's the kind of clout we are love. So nobody should say the man will be president for pushing. We are rather wish for this movement. He enjoys it and he wants to be president. You have a choice. Election is not next year. Election is not 2 years from now. It's not that we got because when I remember we used to say, oh, 3 years also can 2 years also reach.
Yeah.
2023 it also reach. Now 2023 is a matter of months. In less than 4 or 5 months from now, you Liberians will have an opportunity to go to the pool. You have a dying country to save. Go and think about it. It is your children's future that is at stake. We are speaking to the conscience of our people. Please ensure that this guy is a one-term president. He's uninterested in what's going on in the country. Substance drug abuse is the order of the day. He's uninterested. The young people should be in school, but they are on drugs. So please, you have an opportunity, Liberian. Mothers, hold your boys' children very tight. If you pray for them 3 times, increase the prayer because there's so much drug in the country. And Boyka, it is not just the traditional cocaine that we have to deal with. Mind you,
Kush.
the merchants are still bringing in the fake different kind of drugs. They are still forming different kinds of substances and giving it to them. So, we're in a serious problem, man. Boyka, thank you.
Thank you so much, Darlington. Thanks to all of those who listened to us this morning on the show. We just playing our part, raising the eyebrows on things that are happening. What occurred at the Ministry of Justice, or most especially the Temple of Justice, should be something that everybody should be concerned about. So we are concerned. That's why we brought it up for Liberia, for us to discuss, and you have made your contribution towards the topic under discussion. Join us tomorrow morning with a brand new edition of the Costa Morning Show. I will be here, Darlington will be here, and others will be here with us. Up until then, join us tomorrow for another fascinating discussion. Tomorrow we will play host to our folks from Sikamoto. They will be joining us on every Wednesday to promote because they are our prime sponsors here at the Costa Show. So they will be with us tomorrow. But that will be at 11:30 after we have discussed other wide range of issues. They will be our last guest on the show. So join us. Up until then, Darlington Collins, Boakai Amara Kamara is bye-bye from our end.